It's spooky season. Spooky time. Spookiness. Scary. I used to play horror games on this channel, so I know a thing or two about spooky stuff. And I set out on a mission to find the worst horror movie I could find. It's called Trolls 2, not to be mistaken with Trolls 2 World Tour. And the movie starts with a man exploring a forest when he sees these spooky little things, spooky little guys. Just imagine like Ewoks from Star Wars, but they're like ugly. Like a tribe of Ewoks that got disowned by all the other Ewoks because they were so ugly. This man, he's getting chased by them, and they have these short little stubby legs and these long spears. And then we find out that it's just a grandpa telling a grandson a little bedtime story, a little something to help him sleep. The little boy's name is Joshua, and the grandpa's name is Grandpa Seth. Also, my girlfriend pointed this out to me. The movie is called Trolls 2. The creatures in the movies, they're called goblins. Like throughout the whole movie, they're called goblins. So why not just call the movie Goblins or Troll 2? This one's about goblins or something. I have no clue. Why do they call them goblins and not trolls? Editor's note. I was researching some stuff about this movie, found out that the movie was going to be called Goblin. Apparently the film studio that sponsored it decided they wanted to make it a sequel of another movie called Trolls, even though it has nothing to do with that movie. They just thought it would be a great sequel, I guess. I don't know. That is so weird. Anyways, story goes, a man's running through the woods and these goblins, they're chasing him and they're trying to kill and eat him. But he sees a girl in the woods. He just forgets the goblins are chasing him. I guess he's like so horny that he doesn't care that he's going to die. It's worth it as long as he gets some. He gets some. It's worth it as long as he gets some. But he does catch up to her, and then she starts feeding him this weird green goo. But it turns out that green goo turns your body from a regular body to half body, half plant, so they can eat him because they're vegetarian. The goblins are vegetarian, so they eat people that are half people, half plants. Yeah, it makes sense. He eats the shit because the girl feeds it to him, and then the goblins eat him. Then the mother comes in and interrupts story time to drop a bombshell on us. The grandpa wasn't there. The grandpa's dead. Then it cuts to the rest of the family. We meet the sister and the dad. And the dad mentions that they're going to be vacationing in this small town called Nilbog. Next, we meet the sister's annoying ass boyfriend. And this dude's whole personality is Saturdays are for the boys. That's his whole thing, like his whole shtick, except for it's like every day is for the boys. Like he doesn't leave his friend's side. Like even in this scene, he's sneaking into his girlfriend's window and they're right behind him. She does offer him to come with their family to this Nilbog place and spend a month with her alone. And he stands her up. And you know what he does? Borrows a relative's RV and follows them to Nilbog so he can bring his friend. Homie he can't be a month away from his friends to spend time with a girl. Now I want to say something. This whole time, the whole movie, him and his friends are horny motherfuckers. They're so horny that they're going to Nilbog so they can find virgin girls to have sex with. Laid up. She laid it up for him. She was like, come with me. Spend some alone time with me in this small town. And he dropped the ball. Needless to say, the parents don't like him at all. So the sister's sad and she's like crying in the back seat. To cheer her up, Joshua's mom asks her to sing a song for them. And the song, Row, Row, Row Your Boat. After he starts it, they all start singing off key and at different times.
Row your boat gently down a stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
I'm convinced this is what hell is like. On the way to Nilbog, Joshua has this weird nightmare where his family turns into goblins. And I just want to show you how absolutely stupid this troll looks. Look at this guy. Look, his eyes are popping out of his head. Look at this dude. After the nightmare, Joshua wakes up and sees Grandpa Seth standing on the side of the road holding a sign saying, "Stop them." And then Grandpa Seth is just like, "Oh, don't go to Nilbog. The place is like scary and I have a bad feeling. And ooh, don't go to Nilbog. Nilbog is spooky." And then Joshua's like, "Oh no." And then he gets snapped out of it, I guess, because his grandpa's dead. And Joshua's been talking to just random homeless dude on the side of the road. But then the family makes it to Nilbog. They trade keys with this other family who are very weird and rude. And I don't know if I would personally give these people my house keys, but you do you, I guess. I can't stop you. And as they're they're leaving, the little boy from the other family throws Joshua a baseball, and the baseball says, "Eat or we will eat you." Not sending any red flags. No red flags for anybody else besides Joshua for some reason. The family then goes inside and they see that the other family was nice enough to leave them a feast on the table, but the feast was covered in the weird green goo. And if you remember from before, the weird green goo makes it to where your body turns half human, half plant, so the other goblins can eat you. And Joshua knows this. And just before they eat the food, Grandpa Seth shows up at the window and tells Joshua to make them not eat it. And Joshua doesn't know how, so he asks Grandpa Seth how. And Grandpa Seth apparently has the power to freeze time, so he tells Joshua he has 30 seconds to figure something out. And like, I just wonder what he's gonna do. What is he gonna do?
I must do it.
Do what, Joshua?
I must do it.
Do what, Joshua? What are you gonna...
I must do it.
Joshua pees on the food. Out of all the things, he pees on the food. The boys park the camper in a foresty area outside of Nilbog, and one of them is just upset. There's no horny moms. There's no hot moms in his area that want to have sex. He's just so upset. I guess he's so mad that there isn't just women wandering in the forest alone, so he can just go swoop them up and save them, and then they will have sex together. So he decides he wants to go on a walk, and he finds a woman running through the woods needing help. So the only rational thing he does is chases after her and tackles her to the ground. And while he's still on top of her, she asks,
"You're human?"
And then he says this.
Very human. You want to see?
Bro, calm down. Like, how horny are these guys? He literally just tackled this chick to the ground. Hasn't just met her. Hasn't even known her for like 5 seconds. And he thinks that's the perfect time to make a move on a girl. The goblins catch up to them. And then he's just kind of like, "Hey guys, you better stop or I'm gonna hurt you." And you best believe it. I'm not joking. That's pretty much what happened. And they answer that by throwing a spear into his arm. I feel like he deserved that. He deserved it a little bit. That made me laugh. So the girl and the horny boy run away, and they find this totally normal home in the middle of the woods. So just a normal house with, look at it, there's a bed and plants and more plants. There's a lot of plants in here. Then this woman comes out, and she's like the queen of the goblins or something. She gives this long speech about how she's from Stonehenge, and she says her name, but it's way too long and I don't remember it. Horny boy asks if there's a hospital nearby so he can heal himself, and she pulls a Judy from Avatar: Last Airbender and says,
"There is no hospital in Nilbog. We are used to curing ourselves."
Bonus points if you got that reference. I just want to take a pause on the video right now and just mention I moved again, in case you didn't notice. The setup's different. Crazy. I know. It's insane. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. I put my on the air sign behind me. I got Naruto. Anyways, back to the video. So after she explains that there's no hospitals, she decides she's gonna give him a drink to help heal him, because plants heal everything. And the goblin goo. That made no sense. What I just said made no sense. She makes him drink the goblin goo. But the girl also drinks this goo, but she's already drank it before, I think, and that's why she's running away. I didn't really catch what's going on, but she immediately tries to spit it out, and then the goblins come out of nowhere and start just absolutely devouring her. And horny boy then has this realization. Listen.
They're eating her. And then they're going to eat me. Oh my God!
I knew he looked familiar from the beginning of the movie. I just knew he looked familiar. I didn't know where I knew him from. Turns out he's from a dead meme. I found the dead meme movie. Sorry if this is so loud when I move this. I'm very bombastic. Is that the correct word I want to use there? I'm very motion today. Anyways, next scene, Grandpa Seth shows himself in the mirror to Joshua's sister. So apparently the family can see him, but they don't choose to, or something. But it freaks her out so bad that she calls the whole family in there to go check on the mirror, and then the dad throws some shade at her.
Look, there's no one other than us in there.
But he was there before.
It's gotta be your imagination. Or hallucination. Are you still smoking dope, Holly?
You smoking pot again? You smoking pot? You one of them pot smokers? Anyways, Joshua offers to stay in that room for her because she's scared now. And then Grandpa Seth does his usual thing. Grandpa Seth's like, oh, you gotta get the family out of the house. The goblins are gonna eat ya. Ah, blah, 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 blah. And then the next morning, Joshua and his dad decide they're gonna go get groceries because they can't eat anything in the house because Joshua peed on it. But before they get to the grocery store, one of the horny boys also decided he wanted to go get some food. So he heads to the store and surprise, surprise, everything in Nilbog is the green goo. You can't get normal food in Nilbog because they're all trolls. So horny boy, or I guess horny boy number 2, buys some milk and then just drinks it right there. And then the town people tell him that his friend told him to go to the church, which is kind of an odd situation. First of all, the acting is terrible in this scene. Second of all, why did the whole town have to tell this guy that his friend sent him a message? Why couldn't just one of them tell him? Anyways, after that scene, all the townspeople are going to go eat the horny boy number 2. So nobody's there to sell them groceries. So the grocery store is closed. So that kind of saved their lives a little bit, Joshua and his dad. While they're waiting on the grocery store to open, Joshua notices something peculiar. He's looking through one of the mirrors on the car, and he notices Nilbog backwards is Goblin. The first time viewing it, I was kind of like, that's stupid. Now that I rewatched it, I was like, that's stupid. But then Joshua stumbles across a meeting that all the goblin people are having, and it's an odd meeting. They're just talking about how disgusting meat is, but I guess it's kind of like their church because there's just like one dude preaching to them about different body parts, and they're all like, ew, gross, and how humans don't eat meat or don't eat enough vegetables or something. I feel like this was made by Big Vegetable. Big Vegetable had their hand in this movie. Anyways, Joshua does something stupid and like drops his skateboard or something like that. And then the preacher mayor dude palms Joshua's face, like just full palms his face and drags him down to this bunker place that they're in. And then all the people of Nilbog that were down there try to force feed Joshua this green goo ice cream. While they're trying to force feed him ice cream, Joshua actually screams so loud that his dad actually hears it, and he comes down there and saves him. And then whenever his dad asks what's going on, the mayor dude is just like, oh, hey, your son, he's overreacting. We're just trying to give him ice cream. We're trying to give him ice cream. He's just being a little poopy stinky baby, and he's not grateful. The dad probably would have believed them if the family that they gave their house keys to wasn't there. He calls them out and he's like, I thought you guys left yesterday. And they're like, we had car trouble. We have to leave in the morning. Yeah, right. Anyways, horny dude number 2 reaches the church, and he finds his friend that is now turned halfway into a tree, and they both are oddly calm about the situation. Like, listen to this.
Get me out of here, Drew. Just get me out of here. Okay.
Anyways, while they're trying to escape, Evil Chick catches them and pimp slaps the fuck out of horny boy number 2 and knocks him out right on the bed. And then as she's talking to oh my god, it's so hard to say horny boy so many times. And as she's talking to horny boy number 1, she makes these like faces. She actually makes these faces like throughout the whole movie, but it just looks like she's trying to seduce everybody the whole time. I don't know why. They're kind of weird. She takes a chainsaw to the dude's legs and she kills him and makes him into a smoothie so his friend can drink it so she can eat his friend. Cut back to the family. They all come back home from the town, and all of the townspeople just threw them a party while they were gone, like in their house. Like they're inside their house and there's food and people dancing and they're just okay with it. And I don't know. I just feel like that's kind of weird to me while they're just like, oh yeah, look at these nice people. They threw us a party while we were gone. I'd have been like,
excuse me, what the actual fuck are you doing in my house?
Oh yeah, I didn't mention the boyfriend actually left the boys. Crazy. Pretty crazy. This whole time he's just been a dick, but somewhere in the movie he's just like, okay, and then just goes with his girlfriend and the family. And now they're just okay with him. Like they absolutely hated him beforehand, but now he's a part of the family and now they just love him. That's a very forgiving family. But Joshua is the only person out of the whole family that sees a problem with people in their house while they're gone. Only one. And then he gets in trouble for pointing it out and then gets sent to his room. When Joshua gets into his room, he decides he wants to try to call on Grandpa Seth for some help because his family's about to be eaten because they're going to partake in all the delicious food. And as he's calling for Grandpa Seth, he gets met with a goblin that jumps out of the mirror. What? So these goblins have superpowers now. They can just fly through mirrors and stuff. Luckily, Grandpa Seth does save him by chopping off the hands of the goblin that is trying to kill little Joshua. And apparently when the goblins get hurt, the evil lady also gets hurt in the same way. Like they're connected somehow in some way, shape, or form. Joshua asks Grandpa Seth what's going to happen, and Grandpa Seth just casually mentions we got to put out this fire. Joshua's like, what fire? And then Grandpa Seth pulls out a Molotov and gives it to Joshua. A like 8-year-old boy gives him a Molotov cocktail, and tells him to burn the house down with the goblins inside. What? Like you never know what's gonna happen in this movie. Just the most insane shit happens again and again and again. But before he can light and throw the Molotov into the party, the mayor goblin finds him and takes the Molotov from him. Then the mayor goblin starts condemning Grandpa Seth to hell. And Joshua's like, you're not going to hell, are you? And he says no. And then Grandpa Seth uses the power of God to strike the mayor goblin with lightning, lighting the Molotov and catching him on fire and killing him. You never know what's gonna happen in this movie. And this pisses off all the other goblin people because now they're like main goblin boy, I guess. One of them, I don't know. One of them died. So now they're all mad. But they can't eat the people because they're vegetarians and they haven't eaten the goo yet. So all these goblin people wait outside their house for them to get hungry enough to where they're going to eat something so they can eat them. That or they're gonna die of hunger. Then it cuts to this one scene that I absolutely hate and I don't think should have been in the movie. It's the weird scene where the evil chick, she's like all pretty now, and she tries to seduce one of the teenage boys. It doesn't take a lot, honestly, but it's like way too long, and it's like a 10-minute scene and it's not needed really. Nothing happens from it, and it's like creepy because it's like he's like a teenage boy, like even on set he looks like a teenage boy, and she's like a grown woman, and they pretty much make out, but the only thing that's like in between them is a piece of corn, and the corn starts popping like popcorn, symbolizing that it's getting hot in there. And that's all I want to say about the scene. That's all I need to say. It's very creepy. I hated it, but it was there. I needed to talk about it. Cut back to the family. They're holding a seance to try to summon Grandpa Seth so he can help them. And it actually works. And he gives the family 10 minutes to destroy this magic stone so that they can kill all the goblins and go live their life. After he tells them that, apparently the goblins can teleport because how did this one get in the house? And he just lets all the other ones in. But also Joshua teleported to the church with the evil woman. So maybe Grandpa Seth sent the goblin in there like to replace Joshua, but if he did that, then he would have put the rest of the family in danger. So that's kind of a dick move. Why would you do that? Grandpa Seth shows Joshua how to destroy the stone, and he can't do it alone. He has to do it with his family and with the power of goodness. That is what they say. That is not me. They literally say the only way you can defeat them is with the power of goodness. The most cliche shit ever. Then cuts back to the evil chick, who I'm guessing really did have sex with this teenager because he's completely fine. He's covered in popcorn, but she goes outside and sees that she's like dying, and she screams, and this summons all of the other goblins. And so when all the goblins are summoned, then they they teleport. They teleported again. So they can teleport. Why have they not been teleporting this whole time? You'd think they could just use that to their advantage, but they don't seem to do it at the right times. Okay, so this video is going to get a little long if I don't sum up the ending. So I'm going to sum up the ending right now. I have it all written down right here. I'm just going to read it as fast as I can. Joshua almost dies. He eats a huge bologna sandwich, and this terrifies the goblins. Him and his family destroy the stone, killing all the goblins. They all go home. Joshua's mom eats an apple. Joshua finds his mom being eaten alive by the goblins in the kitchen, screams, freeze frame, roll credit. So yeah, after all the time and after they killed all the goblins, they didn't die, or Joshua was having a nightmare. Either way, wow, what an experience. What a great movie. What a movie that was. If you didn't watch my last video of the craziest cryptids I could find, make sure you go check it out right here. Also, I made fun of other very bad movies. You should check them out on the rest of my channel. If you like this content and you want to see more like it, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and hit the bell icon so you don't miss another upload. Thank you for watching the video. Happy Halloween. I love you all, and peace.